Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. Today I'm going to be doing a grungy fall makeup tutorial, so if you'd like to see what I do, just keep on watching. So I already have my base makeup done, well, most of my base makeup done. I have the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation in the shade Natural Ivory on. I set it with the Rimmel Transparent Stay Matte Powder. I used the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in a shade I can't recall. It's not their lightest shade, it's the one right before it, I believe. And then did my brows already. And also I have different hair from my last video, if you see. I still have to kind of tone this side before I put color in it. But I think I'm going to actually be keeping my hair like this until I start my Disney Modern Villain series. Because I am going to be doing Cruella, so might as well just keep it like this so I don't have to buy a wig. Yeah, and for my brows, I just use the e.l.f. Brow Cream in the shade Espresso. So yeah, I'm going to start off by doing my eyes. So I'm going into a palette I forgot I owned, which is the Morphe 3502 Second Nature palette. I'm going to start off with this shade. I did lose the little leaflet that told me the names of these, so sorry about that, but I'm going to go in with this shade. And I'm going to take that on a fluffy blending brush. I'm going to go in with the Luxie 205 tapered blending brush. Sorry if you see me with gum in my mouth, I'm chewing gum currently. I did already prime and set my eyes with the Hard Candy eyeshadow primer, which is the primer I typically use. I use the e.l.f. one as well. But I'm just going to take that shade and I'm going to run this into the crease of my eye, and I'm going to bring it pretty high up. Now taking the same brush, I'm going to run this on my lower lash line. I'm going to bring it down pretty far. Okay, now that you're looking somewhat like a raccoon, we are going to go in with our next color. I'm just taking the shade directly next to it. This is the one I used, and this is the one I'm going to use now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that shade on the same brush, and I'm going to put it on the inner and outer thirds of my lids. Maybe a little into the crease, I don't know, I have to decide. But this is going to be a halo kind of look, so bringing it up fairly high as well. Now for those of you who don't know, I have fairly hooded lids, as you could see when I do this. But when I talk and stuff, I like lift my eyebrows a lot because I'm pretty expressive. Oh my goodness, can I speak today? So that's why I may look like I don't have as hooded of lids as I actually do sometimes. But this is kind of like, when I go up fairly high, it's to allow the shadow to peek through when my eyes are completely open and relaxed, so that people could still see the shadow. But I do have a very mobile lid. And then I'm going to run this on the lower lash line as well, on the inner and outer thirds. Actually, I'm going to drag it completely along my lower lash line. Part of the reason I like to bring down shadow a lot really far too is also because I have hooded eyes, and it allows more of the work to be shown that way. I mean, if you're afraid to do so, you obviously don't have to, but it's just a personal preference. And I'm going to run all of this into the crease, I think, because I do want it to be a little deeper right here, and I'll have the color on the center just kind of peek through a little more. Okay, now I think I'm going to go into this shade right here. This is the shade I just used. This is the shade I'm using now. And I'm going to go in with a smaller brush, this defining eyeshadow brush that no brand, I don't know what the brand is. They're available at Dollar General, at least in the Dollar General where I live. And I'm going to dip into that shade, and I'm going to focus this on the inner and outer thirds of my lids. Oh, by the way, my mole is healing fairly nicely. As you can see, it's not there. It's kind of like a chickenpox scar where it's kind of like dipped down into my skin, but it's healing rather well. Really need to trim my bangs, they're getting in the way. Also running this on my lower lash line. Now I think I'm going to go into the shade that's right next to it. I don't know how much darker it's going to be, so I'm going to see if this works or not, but I do want to add a little bit of depth into the inner and outer corner, so I'm just taking that same brush, tapping off any excess that is on there, and then dipping into that shade. Going to keep it fairly more focused near the very edges. Okay, yeah, that is darker, so that should work. I really don't want to go in with black because I felt like it would be too Halloween, and Halloween was just this past Thursday. I'm filming this on Wednesday after Halloween. I don't have any videos going up this week that I'm actually filming because I wanted to do a little pre-filming and just give myself a break. So that's why I am filming right now, but then I'm not going to be posting this video until the next Tuesday. I mean, you'll be seeing this on Tuesday, obviously, but I'm not posting it today. Also on the lower lash line, but very close. Okay, as you can see, I did leave the center open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this super intense, like reddish orange shade right here, and I'm going to take a flat brush, but I'm going to make sure, if I remember correctly, this shade has a lot of fallout. So I'm going to make sure I tap it off pretty dang good, and it does stain my lids, which I don't mind because like it'll disappear after a few days, but just to keep in mind, I don't know if this palette is even still available, but if it is, it stains my lids. So I'm just going to put this on the center as the base for the shimmer that I want to use. If you want to, you could carve out this area to make it more intense with some concealer. I personally don't want to right now because I want it to be, I'm already getting fallout from this. Ooh, go away. But I personally want it to look a little softer and not quite so harsh up here near the top. I am bringing this up fairly high, not as high as the first transition shade, but right below it. And I'm going to also put this on my lower lash line. I did get a little bit of fallout and it did smudge into my foundation, but I should hopefully be able to fix that with my blush and stuff. So there is a shade that is directly next to that shade, which is a shimmery kind of reddish tone shade. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this up with my finger. Hopefully I don't get a lot of fallout from this, but I'm going to tap it right onto that color I just laid down. Doesn't really look as shimmery as I was hoping, but we shall just go with it. or not, because that is absolutely doing nothing. It's doing nothing. Okay, I wonder if I should wet it. I mean, it's really not that much of a shimmery shade to begin with. Maybe I will actually take the orange shade, which is right next to that red. This is a shimmery shade. I'm going to attempt this shade. I'm just hoping it's... do I want orange, though? I don't know. Okay, we're going to think for a second. What about this shade right here? It's kind of... it's kind of a little bronze. You know what? Maybe I will lay down... What is this one? It's like a golden... What about this one? It's not as orange. But the one next to it. What about... Okay, I think I am going to try this one right here, actually. I'm going to just use my finger. And then if I do want to lighten the very center with something else, I will do that later. So I'm just going to pack that all on my lid. And I'm getting tons of fallout on my face from this. Awesome! Okay, then I'm going to go back into this brush and just kind of tap along the edges to make sure it's nice and blended. Use my pinky and put it on my lower lash line. Yeah, if it looks too Halloween, oh well. I'm going into the JCat Beauty Prismetal Chrome Eye Mousse in the shade Orange You Happy. And I'm going to use my finger. And I'm just going to tap this on the center of that shadow. And then make sure it's nice and blended. I don't want it to be too intense. I just want to add more of a sheen directly in this center. Then I'm just using my pinky for that lower lash line. Okay, now I think I'm going to deepen up the inner and outer corners with that dark brown shade one more time. And I'm also taking that reddish shade and tapping it along the edges of that shimmer to kind of help it blend a little better. So I think on the very center of that orange shade that I laid down, I'm going to go in with the JCat Prismetal Chrome Eye Mousse in the shade Tricky Jester, which is a yellow. And I'm going to very carefully, I might use a brush for this if this picks up well. I'm going to just use this really skinny paintbrush, pick up some of that, and lay it directly in the center, just to give the center the most intensity. I think that helped to brighten it up just a little more like I was anticipating, so that's good. Going to tap some on these lower portion of my eyelid as well. I mean, lower lash line, what? Okay, for my waterline, I'm going to try out this Hollywood and Vine Velvety Touch Smooth Kohl Eyeliner in the shade Black. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm. Which, by the way, do you guys want to see me do BoxyCharm unboxings and stuff? I used to do them, and then I kind of fell out of doing them. But I don't know, I kind of feel like maybe I will do them just to give me, like, you know, a filler, video in case, like, I can't think of anything. Or just to give myself, like, you know, a nice little break once a month so I don't have to do anything too intense. Okay, I'm going to coat my top and lower lashes in the Essence Volume Stylist Mascara. Now I'm going to finish off my base. I'm going into this bronzer out of the City Color Contour Effects 2 palette. And I'm going to take an angled fluffy brush from Wet n Wild. Whew. Kind of dusty, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm going to use that to warm up my cheeks and apparently my hair. I also like to add a bit of bronzer on the bridge of, whoa, not that much. A bit of bronzer on the bridge of my nose. That was a little too much, though. Just to give my nose a little color. I'm bringing it fairly high up. And then I'm going to go in with that contour shade out of that same palette. I'm just taking the small contouring brush from Luxie, the 512. I'm going to tap that in there. This is a really, it looks pretty dark in the pan, but this isn't as dark as it is in the pan, which is nice, but it is very nice and cool toned. And then I'm using that on my jawline as well. Put a little contour right there on my nose. Maybe just drag a little. You know, I forgot to highlight my inner corners. I'll just use this highlight. I'm going into this highlight for my cheekbones and everything, but I'm also going to use it for the inner corners of my eyes. So I'm just going to use my pinky finger to do that. Okay, for my face, I'm using the Wet n Wild Unicorn highlighting brush, and I'm going to do my cheekbones. This is more of a cool toned white highlight. I am pretty fair skin tone wise, but I tend to gravitate toward warmer toned highlighters, but for this one, I kind of like to mix cool tones with warm tones when it comes to my makeup, and since I have warm toned eyes, I figured why not go a little more cool toned everywhere else. I forgot to do my blush. Okay, we will do that. Normally I do my blush before my highlighter, but I guess we're not doing that today. I'm going into the BH Cosmetics Nude Blush 10 color palette. I'm going to mix these two shades right here, this one and this one. I'm going to use my Royal & Langnickel Moda Pro, this is like a flat top kabuki kind of brush. And I'm going to use that to apply some color to my cheeks. I am going to go over that highlight. It'll still shine through. Maybe it'll give it more of a pinky vibe. Oh well. We're just going to go with it though. Bring it up along my temples too. Bringing it right up to that shadow so that it just kind of looks like it marries together. Which I actually love. Okay, then to finish off this look, I'm going in with one of my favorite dark lipstick shades. This is Golf Topic from Wet n Wild. This is in their Mega Last Liquid Catsuit line. And I'm going to use that to fill in my lips. So sorry if you hear snowplows in the background. It snowed and they're plowing the streets. But I just threw on some accessories here to kind of go with the look. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of this tutorial. So if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you aren't already, or if you want to. I think my next look might also be like kind of like a fall look, maybe not quite so grunged out, but you know, just kind of my preference. But yeah, and I guess I'll see you in my next one. Bye.